Hello, Mr. Alator. My name is Katelyn Powers. I'm a student at Griffin Technical College, and today I'm going to be giving a demonstration speech. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about manual photography. You have so many different types of cameras these days that you can kind of pick one for what kind of picture you want to take. But one of my personal favorites is doing manual photography. You can use a digital camera or you can use film. But basically, when you do manual, you're going to be looking for an SLR camera, which pretty much means that you can take the lens and remove it from the camera and change it to use different types of lenses. But the most important thing and the most basic thing that I can teach you about manual photography is how to use your aperture and your shutter. Basically, these two things are things that are controlled within the camera lens, and they control how much light is let in onto your image, and then how long the light is let in on your image. So I have pictures here in my book. This is basically what your aperture looks like. It goes from f2.8 all the way up to f22. And as much as this is one of the hardest things to remember, is that when your aperture is all the way open, what it's going to allow you to be able to do is to focus in on what's right in front of your lens. When it is down to the smaller one, it's going to allow you to see a larger frame, and it's going to have focus in on like a landscape shot where you can have the mountains and the trees and all of that. But once you change these, obviously, as you can tell, if this is what's allowing your light in, when you're on the 2.8, it's allowing a lot of light in. So your shutter speed balances in with this because you don't want to let too much light in, so your shutter speed is actually the length and how long the lens is open. So when you hear that clicking, that's the sound of your shutter, opening and closing. So when you have a small aperture, you want to have a quick shutter speed so that you don't let too much light in to burn the image onto your card or your film. If you're using a very large aperture, then you want to probably have your shutter speed open a little bit longer so that you can get enough light in. This is a really interesting way that you can come up with all sorts of different kinds of shots, just depending on your personal taste or preference and what you want. But the shutter speed is also another really cool thing to be able to learn, because you can use one or the other, or you can combine both to create a different kind of image. The shutter speed, like I said, is used to measure the length of time that you allow your light in onto your image when it's burning the image onto the film or the card. One of the biggest things that people like to use their shutters for, though, is not just to control the light, but to control the way that the image looks. When you're using your shutter speed and you have a fast shutter speed, you can freeze frame an image. So if you have somebody running or animals playing or a bird flying, and it's going really fast and it's kind of hard to just stop that frame with the human eye, but you can do that when you have a fast shutter speed. And a fast shutter speed is going to be fractions of a second all the way to, as long as you want it to be, a minute or more, or you can go to what is called a bulb shot, which means that you can allow as much light in for as long as you want to. This is an example of a freeze frame. I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but this is droplets of, I guess, dye or water going into another color water, and this is actually the splash, and they've frozen this image so that you get to see it kind of in a different way where not a lot of people get to see it, and it's really interesting. So this is one of my hobbies and my passions, and I really enjoy doing this, and if you have any more questions afterward, then let me know. Thank you.